Jonathan Toews today signs in Winnipeg. A
Big
one-year
news.
deal, and it's about a $2.5 million base with a bunch of bonuses that would carry over to the next season. But it's a great story. Like, it's a great story that the great Jonathan Toews, who could have never played another game again the rest of his life and gone right into the Hall of Fame. His number will be retired. He's probably a statue guy in Chicago, I would think.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Stays within the division, goes to his hometown, a very good team in Winnipeg that opens the door. Like, Scheifele will be their 1C. And then, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can ask Taves to be your number 2 guy immediately.
No.
I think the hope is at some point he can get there. It may not be attainable. It's completely unknown what he's going to look like.
January, you're hoping that he could be the 2 guy.
That's kind of what you're hoping for. And Lowry's a perfect number 3. You know,
Yeah.
you move Namestnikov back to the wing, I think, and maybe there's Ehlers walks and, you know, whatever it's going to be. But if you've got Jonathan Toews, like, just in terms of a feel-good story, which doesn't add to the win-loss column, but it's a great story. If you're a Jets fan today, it's just got to be one of the coolest things ever. Like, local guy, you know, hero growing up, World Junior hero, you know, absolutely tormented the division forever as the captain of the Blackhawks when they were at their height. Hasn't played in a few years. Don't know what he's got left, 37 years old. 1-year deal. You know, yes, it's a lot of money if he hits all the bonuses, but that carries over the next year. And the Jets rarely, if ever, spend to the cap. So, you know, they're going to have, even if they got to own some of the bonuses, I don't think it's going to be an issue for them. I think it's a really good play. And I'm really curious to see what he's got. Because how many times did we talk about Jonathan Toews on our show 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago? I mean, this guy, he was the man, and it was him and Sid for the longest time. Like, even Ovi, it was a three-peat. It was a three-pack
Dude, he
of
was
players.
so good that people would talk, like, would you take him? We have all the crazy discussions, like, is it him or is it Sid? Which one would you take? Do you know what I mean? Like, it was that close where people were like, God, it's a tough call on which guy. One guy's more dynamic offensively, but the other guy is so good in the playoffs, so responsible, matchup guy, clutch. And it's like there was showtime, but Jonathan Toews, man, he scored some unbelievable goals for the Blackhawks in big moments.
Leader,
that guy was so good.
Well,
the problem is, guys, it's just like Patrick Kane. We're talking 10, 11 years ago. Like, what is it? What is the product right now? Because if you think it's just going to be Jonathan Toews of Mr. Serious with the C on in Chicago, it ain't him right now.
Yeah.
No, and that's where I'm not sure you can. You know, it might be ambitious to pencil him in as your number 2 center. Like, he may have to start on the 4th line and ease him in. You know, and play 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and then who knows? You know, like, and then who knows? But it's definitely worth a flyer on the guy.
100%.
Absolutely.
You're going to give him a shot.
You also mentioned the bonuses. If he achieves all of them, that means he had a good year. That means he played a bunch of games that, you know, probably contributed, all of that type of stuff. If he only plays half the games, then, he stays in the 4 million range type of thing. But I look at it, I think it's a flyer. He's familiar with the city, knows it, obviously has a relationship with people around there. I think it's a terrific signing, and you're right. Like, he's going to decide where he's going to play in that lineup by how fresh he is, how quickly he can get up to game speed, how his game will translate to today's game. Let's not forget, like, he's not 28 anymore. So he, you know, by the end, the end is the wrong word, but by the time he stopped playing, you know, Father Time was catching up to him. So he's got to adapt his game a little bit into today's game, which is more of a young person's game.
Yeah, well, and that's true, too. Like, you know, he obviously had some struggles health-wise, and by the end, Chicago was done.
Right.
And, he was not the same player, and he won't be. And I guess that's what we're saying. Like, even asking him to be the second-line center by midseason may just simply be too ambitious.
Right.
And he may just be a fourth-line depth guy. Anything's
That's
on
a
the
reality.
table.
That could,
that could be
happen.
anything. It could he shows up and he just can't get back going again. That's possible, too. I doubt it. You know, I'm sure he's in incredible shape, and clearly Winnipeg's done their due diligence, and it's been reported on for a while. He's been skating for a long time. Like, I'm sure he's ready to go and ready to play. But it is a wide wide chasm here in terms of the possibilities of what Taves looks like. But just the idea of him being in a Canadian market, being in Winnipeg, the season that they had last year, it's a great start to the offseason for them.